This is the Hidden Killers Podcast with Tony Brueski.
Featuring defense attorney, Hidden Killers daily contributor, and host of the Defense Diaries podcast, Bob Motta.
Donna Adelson, well, she's in a lot of hot water, being accused of conspiring to murder her former son-in-law, Dan Markel, after her son, Charlie, convicted and spending the rest of his life in prison for it. What's going to happen next? Is there more shoes to drop against the Adelsons of conspiring to kill a father who just simply wanted to be a dad to his kids? And why did she hire the defense attorney that Charlie had? Charlie's in prison for the rest of his life. That didn't work out all so well. Joining me to discuss, Bob Motta, defense attorney, host of the podcast Defense Diaries. That's my first question for you. Why go with the same guy that this didn't work out so well for Charlie on?
It's a really good question. And I don't know the answer. The only thing that I can think of is, and he's second chair, so she's got another attorney. She brought him on as a second chair. And the only thing that I can think of that makes any sense to me is just his intricate knowledge of the case. I mean, there's one thing for certain is that the guy knows the case forward and backwards. If you look at the defense that he put on, love it or hate it, it was creative and it was a defense and it was sellable. I watched 90% of that trial and he made the pieces fit. Now, whether or not he was able to sell it to a jury, which obviously he was not, the story fit. It just did. It's like I gave him a lot of credit for coming up with, and theoretically it could have been Charlie, who knows, who came up with this concept of the double extortion thing, But in terms of like, you've got these really, really bad facts, with these meetings and phone calls and jokes about TV repairmen and money exchanging hands and, and he just kind of made it fit in a plausible story. Now, does plausible mean that it was plausible enough to override the fact that Dan Markel is dead, murdered, in front of his home? No, obviously it wasn't. But I think that she probably appreciated the fact that, number one, like I said, he knows the case forward and backward. He's not like her new attorney isn't going to know the case like he does. It's like bringing in like a quarterback coach for
it's like a consultant,
young quarterback. Yeah, just kind of like a quarterback whisperer. Like the guy will be able to kind of guide him through everything without this guy having to start from scratch and learning the case from ground zero. It'll be like, oh, you're looking for a witness statement here, boom, but you know what I mean. So and they have the money. You know what I mean? They still have the money to be able to hire counsel and she can get a couple of them. And if he's going to help him navigate the lead counsel navigate through, all the discovery and help him out, because it's going to be a different case. People like, this is not going to be a rerun of Charlie's case because there's different dynamics. They're going to have to prove different things with respect to Donna. It's like when Katie, the ex, the girlfriend who is, the one who basically set up the hit with, Tato and the other fella, that situation was like when she says she gets the bag of money, they had all that testimony on there. Like, oh, I got the bag of money and it was wet. Like, what do you mean it's wet? Well, it's like, it feels like they actually like washed the money.
Yeah. Like
in order to get their fingerprints off of it. It's like, I'm like, well, that's not really how you launder money. They took it very literally.
Yes.
But like in her testimony was that Charlie never kept money like that in the house, which was implying that Donna was the source of the cash.
Yeah.
Like that's where this thing's going to revolve around. And then of course, you have Donna and Charlie on these phone calls after he's convicted where, it's like they call that guilt of consciousness in the business.
Yeah.
All right. So legal game, when you're talking about like, oh, I'm going to either kill myself or I'm going to go to, either Vietnam or, or the Saudi Arabia, wherever they're not going to be able to extradite me. And, it's like that type of stuff. And it's admissible.
Yeah.
Like, just so people understand, it's absolutely admissible, and it's absolute proof of indicia of guilt, so they're going to use it, and it's powerful.
Sick of the ads?
We are too.
Start listening with no commercials now and get access to all of our episodes in advance of everyone else.
Become a True Crime Today Premium Plus subscriber on Apple Podcasts.
Search True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts or go to our podcast page and sign up now.
True Crime Today Premium Plus.
Sign up now.